Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 out today. Got some more Guild Wars for you guys. And of course, you all know, before we begin, we have the joke of the day. Oh wow, it's a long one. Okay, 3 dinosaurs come across a magic lamp. They rub the lamp and out pops a genie who grants them 3 wishes. First dinosaur asks for a big hunk of meat. The second dinosaur, looking to one-up the first, asks for a shower of meat. Oh no. Not to be outdone, the third dinosaur asks for a meteor shower. I thought this was gonna go in a completely different direction. Oh thank goodness. Alright. Well anyways. Anyway kids, that's how the dinosaurs died out. Oh god. So with that delightful opening to our video, let's go ahead and jump in guys to the middle tower here, where I'm going to be going up against Lady of the Scales and Genesis Roz. Fern is such a strong DPS, and her nuking potential is honestly just through the roof. This is my current build on her. I went ahead and fully imprinted her and got a plus 30 of her artifact using just bottles and slates and such. I didn't really get too lucky on her banner, but it's okay. She's plus 15 in terms of her skills, because every damage dealer needs as much damage as they can squeeze out nowadays. And currently I'm running her on the Riposte set and Penetration set, so she does have a 70% chance to counterattack whenever she gets hit, whenever she evades, I should say. 200 speed is a pretty good middle ground here. We got a little bit of bulk, a lot of attack because her barrier scale off of her attack, so prioritize that over the crit damage a bit. And yeah, she actually is going to be an absolute monster into this team here. The main thing with her is that she starts the match with a full skill cooldown, so this is where Aram can kind of come in. She has the ability to reset your skills, right, which is really, really good. I also have on Shamadra's staff, which is going to help us with some healing, keeping Fern topped up. We're on counter and resistance here, a little bit of effectiveness now compared to my old Aram build, but yeah, currently doing pretty good on gear score too. All these mixed effectiveness and resist pieces really coming in handy on her, but she's going to be a really great unit because you can reset Fern's S3 and essentially just let her S3 right out the gate. I don't know if I'm going to do that necessarily, but we'll see. And I'm also going to be using BBK here to tank. I had to steal a piece from her earlier, so she isn't max crit rate, but against light units, she is fine. She's on Hostess of the Banquet as well, so extra effect res to top her up to basically around 200 effect resistance. She's a great tank for Genesis Roz in these settings because with all the resist that she has, Genesis Roz can't seal her, and yeah, we'll just be able to essentially nuke our opponents. With an S3, we'll be able to heal and sustain. We have double immortality. It's going to be pretty nice. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we can do. Alright guys, let's see what we got here. The opponent's going to be starting first, which is kind of typical. Lady of the Scales, usually pretty fast, 18k health. Ooh, I don't like that. It's a lot of HP there. But look at this. AoE's coming out from the Abyssal Youth. We get the counter attacks from the Fern and the... ooh, did Aram actually do it too? I don't think she did, but we did get the Vigor proc. Okay, so at this point, we can come in with an S1. If I soul burn this, it would deal a lot of damage. Aram's fantastic with Fern because you get the speed buff, and all of her attacks here scale with speed. So what I could do is honestly just come in here and just soul burn this S1. Just go for it, why not? This will proc the immortality onto the Genesis Roz, right? And we could honestly just finish off the Genesis Roz on our turn here. I could honestly reset him, but Fern is so close to an S3 that I'm just going to hold off on it. Let's go for a hit onto the Lady of the Scales. Oh, ooh, there we go. Got a little stun there. So yeah, that Lady of the Scales is a bit bulkier than I'm used to seeing, so it probably is one with a little bit less resistance, and that's fine. I know some people like to build a hybrid effective... Whoa! Okay, I did not expect that to finish off the A-ROM. I probably should have looked out for that anyway. Let's go ahead and just finish off our opponent's Genesis Roz here. Ooh, that was not good. Well, we're not going to have A-ROM for the next couple of fights, so that is unfortunate. However, I think what I'll do here is try to finish off Lady of the Scales if possible. Now, Fern is able to S3 here, so we still have the speed and vigor buff. Let's see how much damage we actually do. Let's finish off the Abyssal Eupheme so she can't cause any troubles for my BBK later. Ignore Res Strip on her S3 is really scary. And look at that, 46,000 damage, guys. And we loop back around because we are so fast with Fern. Finish off the Lady of the Scales. And we loop back around again. Oh, this is so good. But yeah, Genesis Roz does not stand a chance here. We still have another Immortality, and let's check out Fern's damage once again. Yeah, she's really good into these teams where the opponent's really bulky and a bit slower. Right, the defense penetration helps her out a ton. So let's go ahead and check out a couple more teams. Unfortunately, no AROM resetting shenanigans, but you could see how fast she even gets her skill 3 off, even without anyone resetting it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on into the next round here, where we have, well, one of Fern's greatest weaknesses, and that is Rinok on the other side. Rinok is a unit who will go after ice units first in terms of priority, at least in Guild Wars and if you're fighting her as an AI. And so Rinok's gonna steal Fern's stats. Not only that, she's gonna come in with a huge S3, it's gonna penetrate defense, doesn't matter if it misses, it's gonna deal a ton of splash damage. And Fern's gonna be in trouble, right? So what I'm gonna do into this team, and I really like doing this overall with Fern into Rinok in Arena, is bring Abigail along. Now this Abigail is not really well built. I'm sure I can click this button and it'll give me, actually never mind, I take that back. This Abigail's pretty decently built, I guess, for a random bruiser, and we're gonna bring her along with Victoria's Flag. She's gonna be really good at supporting Fern in the backline. She'll give Vampirism, and she's going to give Immortality whenever Fern reaches lethal damage, essentially preventing Fern from dying. And I'm also going to bring in Adventurer Roz. Now, Roz here is typically not someone that you'll see very often used in Guild War offense, I would assume, but he's really decent here for the ability to give the backline a huge barrier through his passive skill, right? His passive effect. He doesn't actually have a passive, but it's built into his specialty change and all that. He is going to be on Aureus, so he's going to soak up a ton of damage for the team. He's on protection set and HP set, so he's quite bulky, got a little bit of speed on him. Honestly, I wish he was a little bit more bulky, but this is all I can muster for now. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we can do. Roz also has the ability to S2, which dual attacks with his highest attack ally, which is going to be Fern. But let's first see if we can actually survive the Rinok here. There we go, nice counter attack. Huge hit onto the Rinok. The main issue here is that the Rinok's gonna deal a ton of damage, but two, we're gonna lose all these evasion stacks unless, ooh, I was gonna say, unless we actually counter. So there you go. If you didn't see, that Rinok's actually on RNL. She did proc it. Fortunately for me, Fern was doing fine. So we can actually do a hit onto the one turn away. That's quite unfortunate. I'm gonna try to finish off the Rinok here. Let's go for a hit. We got a nice barrier. BBK is gonna S3. We should be okay on everybody. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Fern with a massive barrier. We didn't actually proc the Immortality at all yet. So at this point, I think I'll go into the Rinok with an S3. If I can defense break her, and I have two chances, here once and then once with the Roz. There we go, very nice. And if I dual attack with the Fern here, come on please. Oh, no crit, I missed there. Super unfortunate. Anyway, she's gonna come in with another S2. She misses, so it's fine. We didn't counter. She hit there, so we didn't lose a focus stack. She hit there as well, didn't lose a focus stack, it's all good. And now let's come in with an S3. Now, I'm hoping we don't miss, but even with Fern missing here, we should still be okay in terms of our damage output. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. Just 13,000 damage. BBK soaking up like 30k there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's give the Immortality. Fern's still okay. Vampirism is procced, so at this point, because we got Vampirism, I'm going to try to heal up as much as possible. We're going to go for a Soulburn S1. Oh, look at that Lady of the Scales taking some decent damage. Box got some good healing on Fern, and this is one of the reasons why I really like pairing her with Abigail. As you can see, a lot of synergy here. Got defense buff going on. Wonderful. Let's keep hitting the Lady of the Scales. And there we go. Abigail's not going to be the target. Because Fern healed so much, Abigail essentially became the tank, and that's quite okay. Let's go ahead and just attack the Lady of the Scales there. Let's see if we can actually hit the... Ooh, we missed there, but we finish off the BBK, and just going to come in with another S3 on Fern. So as you can see, Abigail, such a cool little tech, and the other cool thing I couldn't show here is that when Abigail puts the damage share buff on, Fern can decimate 2 units. So moving on here, let's continue on to the third match that we got, up against a, well, also really bad matchup for Fern. So the main thing about Fern is that when she is fighting, you don't want her to take strays, as in you don't want her to get hit by extra attacks or counter attacks and stuff, because that will whittle away your focus bar, and if you have the riposte set or a counter set, you won't be able to do anything in retaliation to those hits. So you're essentially just losing focus stacks for nothing. You do, you know, get to evade and miss out on some damage and stuff, but overall it's just not the best situation to be in. So Setsuka on the other side, along with Nuke and Aiden, both units who have counters built into their kits in some form or another. Yeah, just really bad overall, right? Now, what I'm going to do to mitigate that is I'm bringing in New Moon Luna and Archdemon Shadow, 2 units that can seal passives. When you're up against teams like this, you definitely want to bring in units who can seal, right? Archdemon's one, New Moon Luna's the other, and then Knockwall is the third, also a really strong unit overall. So in this case here, we have the ability to come in and just seal our opponents straight out the gate. I think I'll just go for it, honestly. The great thing about Archdemon is that Archdemon actually allows you to dual attack with the highest attack unit on your side if you have her EE. And so I'm actually going to come in here and try to finish off the Aiden. Currently she has the unbuffable, right? So if we can hit her, this would be great. Oh, we do miss with the Fern. Otherwise I think that probably would have done it there. Yeah, so we missed there, it's all good. Lady of the Scales is going to cleanse, very unfortunately. But the good thing is there's no immunity on the other side, and without immunity, well, my opponent can't really do anything when I try to seal them once again. We'll give it a shot here, see if anything comes from it. New Moon Luna, ooh, taking so much damage. I think the best unit to go for right now is either Setsuka or the Lady of the Scales. Lady of the Scales is safer, but I am just going to go ahead and hit the Setsuka here. Want to proc the Immortality onto the new Kid Aiden. Now everyone's blinded, so in this situation where you're blinded, definitely go for a seal here, so Setsuka can't proc. Unless you're hitting her directly, but nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Vigor buff on the Aiden's also really bad for us right now. Oh yeah, look at that. So the extra focus being chipped away, and Fern now so low on her health. Let's go for a S2 onto the Lady of the Scales here. Don't know if we'll actually be able to survive this one. Aiden's going to be coming in onto the New Moon Luna. There we go, so New Moon Luna goes down. The Fern still has a chance. I could come in and nuke this Aiden. Or I can come in here and nuke... I'm gonna nuke the Lady of the Scales. How about that? I think Aiden will still take the damage share here, but hopefully if I hit, which is not very likely... Yeah, there you go. We still deal a little bit of damage there. And... I could soul burn this, but I think it's better for me to just go for a single attack here for an S1. Nice. Setsuka being sealed means she only has 20% from her artifact to allow her to dodge. And because we're so fast, a Setsuka that's this slow doesn't stand a chance. Look at that Fern with a nice little recovery play there. Honestly, wouldn't have happened if we got luckier on hitting the Aiden initially. But it's all good, and we come in here with the Fern, and look how fast her S3 is charged up, right? Just because of all the dual attacks with the Archdemon, my opponent hardly hit us for us to counter, so we're in a pretty decent spot. And yeah, don't need to see another S3 from Fern, just a single S1 is enough to do the job. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and move on here to a challenging guild wars. This one is a fresh one, but we're up against a pretty nasty guild, as you can see by the green shields here. So the first team is going to be a Bossarunga team, along with May Chloe and Empyrean Ilinov, and I'm not really sure how to approach this, I'll be very honest, but I decided to go with Fern because Fern is just great at bursting through defenses, right? This amount of damage that we have here should be enough, even with an Empyrean Ilinov on my opponent's side. I know we have the defense penetration that's in her kit, but I feel like we have enough damage to be okay, right? Even through damage share effects, like 70% damage share, we were doing fine with Lady of the Scales. So, Fallen Cecilia is going to be our tank. She's going to be the frontline unit here, and we're going to protect her with Ruel. Now, my Fallen Cecilia has no effect resistance, but my Ruel, she is actually quite hefty in terms of stats. I really like her build here on the new reversal set, along with the HP set. We have her on Cure All Magic Wand, which is basically just another copy of Guardian Ice Crystals, just a generic version of it, which is really nice to see. And yeah, let's go ahead and see how this plays out. The main thing with Ruel is that her S3 now gives herself full heal, full cleanse, and invincibility. And that's going to help keep her in the fight for a longer duration. Hopefully I'll be able to use that and cycle it with the Fallen Cecilia. But for right now, because May Chloe is going to S3, I'm just going to S3 here to get Skill Nullifier up, and hopefully not proc a counter attack. If they counter me, I'm going to be very, very upset. Okay, there we go. No counters, and this actually pushes up both Bossarunga and Empyrean Ilinov. So the issue against this team is that they have a lot of turn cycling, and it's turn cycling that I really don't want them to have. So Bossarunga gonna counter, unfortunately, and when she does, we do lose a stack of focus. Now, thankfully, everyone on my opponent's side here is a light unit, which means they'll be attacking my Fallen Cecilia, unfortunately. She is defense broken now, but Ruel should be able to heal her up in this upcoming turn. Yeah, they're gonna injury me down. We have a defense break. It's not looking too good, but Fallen Cecilia should be able to tank this through. The strip from the Bossarunga is now gone, and it's just gonna be a slugfest, right? We're gonna be gaining focus. This Bossarunga is gonna take away our focus, and we're just gonna have to see if Fern can actually do anything here. Now, we are eating a lot of debuffs. Ooh, Fallen Cecilia might not have been the best unit to bring along in this fight. I think, honestly, with the defense breaks here, not a huge fan. I am going to S3. I know we have the damage limit buff there, but let's go ahead and just S3. Now, Ruel is fast enough. 190 speed there. We should be able to turn cycle here. The unfortunate thing is my opponent is also able to turn cycle here, but yeah, let's go ahead and do... I kind of want to wait for the defense buff to go away on this Bossarunga, so I'm just going to go for an S1. And this Bossarunga apparently has a 100% counter rate. So that's wonderful. But Fern is really fast. Fern should be... Ooh. Okay, good counter though. Nice. Fern is able to zoom, which is very cool. Let's go for the Bossarunga here. Unfortunately... Oh, there we go. Okay. There's the S1. As long as she doesn't get an S3 up here. So Fern is able to get... her S3 up. Unfortunately, not 5 stacks. I would have liked 5 stacks of focus here. Let's see how much damage we end up doing. Empyrean Ilinov mitigating some damage, but look at that, still 14k damage, guys. Still really, really good. Okay, I'm quite happy with how that turned out. And... okay, no stun. Beautiful. I would like to provoke the Bossarunga here. Oh, shoot, that counter is going to do me in, I think. Okay. There we go. Oh my god, we're eating so much damage. I would like to... honestly, I probably should just go for a Soulburn S1. Just get as much damage as we can onto the entire team. May Chloe takes out the Fallen Cecilia, and now he gets his buffs up. Now, here's the cool thing. Even with his buffs, I don't really care, because Fern has enough damage for this. We're just gonna have to eat some hits here, unfortunately. Ooh, hey, hang on. Hang on just a second. Maybe I don't want to eat that damage. I forgot Fallen Cecilia is mitigating all the splash damage that was coming in from the Bossarunga. She's only 20k HP, so I think we're okay. Damage limit buff kicking in. Very nice. And the thing about them attacking Fern is that as long as they miss, we have a chance to counter. There we go, with the Repose set. Very nice. And I do have another S3. Now I might as well just pop it. I know they have the defense buffs, but might as well to weaken my opponent here. This is really just a test of Fern and how well she can survive against these tanks. Because these tanks are absolutely merciless, right? Look at that combat readiness gain they're getting. It is disgusting. Oh! We're not able to heal there. Okay. Or sorry, not able to get a barrier there. Now let's go for the S1. Some more damage. Alright, there we go. We got a counter attack. Beautiful. Good counters. Very good counters. Beautiful. And Fern keeping up her focus this way is wonderful. Let's go for an S3, see if we can... If we get countered here, I think we're dead. Okay, no counter. Wonderful. We're gonna die from this, though. Okay. Boom. Alright, so now it's up to Ruel. Now, the good thing about Ruel is we have lives on her. She is gonna be fine. We can just revive the Fern and see. So, yeah, even a team like this, I guess, is kind of pushing Fern to the limit here. So sorry I have to sit through this, but I think it's valuable to know how Fern can stack up against these types of units, right? Defense penetration is very important in her kit, as you can see. You normally are dealing like 60k damage, right? But against this Bossarunka, 20k HP, still not able to one-shot here. There we go. Ruel has a damage limit buff. I am gonna go ahead and pop it onto the Fern. Very nice. And we'll go for yet another S3. So without the Maid Chloe here, it's actually kind of nice because Maid Chloe was healing passively. We were able to DPS her down with just the Soulburn S1, which is kind of ridiculous. And there you go. So Bossarunka goes down as well. We needed a single revive from the Ruel, but hey, I think it was pretty impressive by Fern overall, right? There we go, another counter attack. Very cool. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play around with this Ilanov until Ruel gets to revive again, but we can have a little revenge here with another S3 from Fern. To finish off this Empyrean Ilanov once and for all. That mitigation, disgusting. But even then, look at that, we're dealing almost 21k damage. Jumping straight into the next one here, going against Dude Bro 77. What a name. What a legend. We're going up against this Dragon Bride Senya, and to counter it, we're going to bring our Empyrean Ilanov, who prevents our opponent from penetrating our defense too much, right? She doesn't mitigate all of it, but she mitigates most of it. And we also have Rise of a Monarch here to help us out, giving us barriers and such for our Fern, or whoever the lowest HP unit is, to help kind of keep us alive. It's kind of like a pseudo heal, which is really cool. Anyway, we also have Aram, because my opponent has Harseti, and Aram is typically a really good unit into Harseti because we get our 3-turn immunity because our opponent goes first. And of course, Fern is going to be fighting everything here. Fortunately for me, we're going to be able to test out our damage against this Nuke at Aiden. She's not in the back line, right? Harseti is being protected by the Dragon Bride Senya. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out. I really want to test Fern's damage against a evasion unit, so this will be interesting. Alright, Aram's gonna proc, we have the Vigor buff, we have the Speed buff. Now, obviously the Vigor buff, the Speed buff, they're all gonna help Fern's damage output quite a bit. I'm actually debating whether or not ooh, that's a lot of damage on Taylor now. I'm debating on whether or not I want to hit the Aiden now, or if I want to hit her later. I think I can go for the Dragon Bride Senya first. If I can nuke her, I don't think I have anything to really worry about anymore, right? Let's go for this. Indomitable buff on everybody. She is going to come in with an S3. I think it's going to run to Ilanov, but we're fine. She's tanking all the hits for us. There you go. Right, not that much damage. And I will reset my Fern. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to reset the Fern here. Let's go ahead and do this. Honestly, I could just nuke the Aiden at this point and just slowly finish off the Dragon Bride Senya, but if I counter with Fern into the Harseti accidentally, I think we might get taken down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. We have the extra damage from the Aram as well. Again, such a good unit to pair with Fern. Let's see if we can one-shot the Dragon. Oh, we can easily one-shot Dragon Bride Senya. 53,000 damage, guys. That is nuts. But this is a 29,000 HP Harseti, which is also pretty crazy. We'll heal with the S1 there. Thankfully, we are alive. And we'll go for an S1 here. No stun, unfortunately. See if I can do anything with this. Ooh, couldn't take her out. Unfortunate. That's a lot of damage from this Harsetti, I gotta say. Is Ilanov gonna go down here? Not quite. That's good. So we can finish off the Harsetti. And now, look at this. Now we're looping, right? Because Harsetti was kind of hindering our speed here. Now our Fern is able to outspeed everybody. Take the turn. We have an S3 ready. And see if we can one-shot the Aiden. Yeah, see, look at that. Even through evasion, just almost 15k. Well guys, that is gonna do it for this video. Fern had a pretty good run in Guild Wars here, and one last look at her final build. I think a lot of people are just underestimating like her capabilities. A lot of units aren't necessarily self-sufficient. They don't need to be in the grand scheme of things. You have 3 teammates that you can draft with in RTA, you have 3 teammates in Arena, 2 more in Guild Wars, and I think Fern is one of those units that if you have the right supports, she can be an absolute monster. The other thing holding a lot of people back is that Riposte is a relatively new set here, and not a lot of people have farmed up really good pieces for a unit like Fern. But with those buff events, you know, popping up here and there every now and again, get to grinding, get to farming, and hopefully you will also have a Fern that will serve you well. With that being said though guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.